So this is pretty typical of a restaurant or club. You can tell a lot by, what kind of quality of equipment that they use. Typically, a good owner will buy expensive stuff, not because it's expensive, just because he wants the best and he wants something reliable. He doesn't want any problems. So, you should. And then let me show you a little bit of the club. So, oh, left my lights on. So, I counted 12 stations where they had already run. Good, my stuff is still there. 12 stations where, just sit in the truck for a sec. See if my truck starts. Good news. Okay, so basically what I did was, I think he needs about 12 subwoofers, one for each station. And what each station constitutes, where they've already run basically a home speaker tower, and then they've suspended it and anchored it to the rafters, which is good. And that's a really cheap and easy way to do it, because nobody really looks up there. It's real dark. Again, it's not meant for cosmetics. It's just meant for good sound and to sound good. But the biggest thing that I noticed in the club was that there was no bass. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and I recommended 12 total subwoofers. And we're talking about self-powered units, either a 10 or a 12, and typically right around 100 or 200 watts. It doesn't need a lot. But I recommend 12, and then what we're going to do is do 6 and then see how he likes it. And so what we ended up charging him was basically $250 each per sub installed, which is insanely cheap. So, but he's a friend of a friend, and of course I could gouge him for more, but again, that's not in my best interest. I'd rather do a really good job now and then get to know these guys as friends, and it's more prosperous for everyone if I just mind my manners. But yeah, real easy job. And then I got one of my guys doing it, Chris, and then he brought one of his guys to help out. And basically, I'm just going to show up and supervise and make recommendations. And then as far as sourcing goes, there's enough in the budget that we can go to Parts Express, or I can find something local. Personally, I think there's going to be plenty of inventory that I have, and then also that Chris has, both at our houses, that we should be able to satisfy the order. But basically what I did was I opened up Parts Express. I looked for a subwoofer that was going to be, what I would recommend if I just send up, I said, hey, buy 12 of these off of Parts Express or whatever. And then you add a little bit for just transportation and bringing it here. And because we actually had to come over here in the truck at rush hour. Not that that makes it more expensive or anything like that. Just it gives you a good idea of what was going to be, what it's going to be like worst case scenario. So, but we should be able to wrap this up by the weekend. And he's just a really happy guy, and he's generous and very kind, and he's been really easy to work with. So it's a real slam dunk opportunity. And what's great is this is a good opportunity just to make a name for yourself. And one of the things that he complimented me on was, he says it's very difficult to find somebody that's honest and does good work. So, and if you can provide those things, you can be a success as well. It's really not that difficult. But typically a lot of people in this industry are just greedy